Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Sunday evening, it's been a busy weekend, and this evening we are talking about budgeting and my complete lack of it. So, as you will have seen this morning, I went to Lidl's in the morning and I got a great haul, some fantastic deals on the meat. And when I came back, obviously made the video, put stuff in the freezer, did my bolognese, which is not proper bolognese, and I'm sorry to all the Italian people who watch because that's no more bolognese than fleeing the air. But it's my homage to with what I have. So I then sat down, had tea and crumpets, cause crumpets. So sitting there working out, and then I realised what the date was. And I have got a whole lot of months and not a whole lot of wages left. I don't know what's happened to my budgeting this month. It has gone completely skew with. There is no rhyme or reason to it, but I am not where I expected to be. The good thing is, the bills are paid, and I have enough in the bank for my last bill, which is my council tax, which is due out tomorrow. So that is done. My normal get me through the month money, however, seems to have just frittered away somewhere. Don't know what's happened. So, obviously, as you do, I panicked and ran a bit like a headless chicken, checking where I had cash stashed and where I had everything, and no. So, that's fine. I then made myself another cup of tea and thought, actually, let's look at it logically. Because normally I'm not very logically when it comes to those things. I panic first, and then once I calm down, I can look at things more logically. And that's what I did. And I thought, right, we've seen it before. You've seen it on many people's videos where they do a no spend. And I'm just going to do a no spend because that's part of the reason that I do prepping. It's not just for major emergencies like floods or fires or high prices or things like that. I also prep basically because of my location so that if I don't have to go to the shops, I can be ill, I can have the flu and still have plenty healthy food in the house. So that is my intention. And yes, it may not just be a no spend week because we're only in the middle of the month. So yes, we'll see how that goes. I have started off well. I have tomorrow's lunch taken out of the freezer. I obviously have bread and things in the freezer, so that's my sandwiches sorted. But what I also thought is if I'm doing this, this is a perfect time to start looking at my freezer because inventorying it and taking everything out and checking and spinning it all around and I keep buying more stuff for the freezer. So what I intend doing over the next little while, excuse me, is I will use things that I have frozen and stashed. So like tonight we had bolognese for dinner. We didn't use the thing that I had made earlier because bolognese always tastes better the second day. But what we did use was a tub that I had before, so that's a bit of space for one of the ones from today's pot. And I took out some pesto that I'd made. I made fresh pesto a while ago. And I just kept it in the freezer because I was like, oh, you never know when you might, you never know. Actually, why not use it now, Cam? Exactly. So we had pesto and it was lovely. And I had actually made the pesto proper with fresh basil and nuts and parmesan and the whole shebang. And it was lovely. So I had frozen it in my big 2-inch square or 1-inch square ice cube trays. They're about 2 inches deep and 1-inch square. So I've got another 2 squares of them to go. I also have squares of caramelized onions, and what I did was I put that into the slow cooker because you know yourself, fresh tomatoes can be very worse, and sweetness is good. Well, rather than throwing in a handful of sugar, I threw in an ice cube of caramelized onions. So that'll have sweetened that up. And that's another one used. See, and this has just given me space in the freezer, and I can start taking out the older things that I've got so that the things that I'm buying now have got more space, and then I can make meals from them, batch cook, and I'll actually have space to store them. So yes, that is the plan. Basically, Karen's budgeting went out the window in spades, totally useless. So we're going to try and not spend any money over the next couple of weeks, because there's nothing that I can think of that I need to spend money on. I have food, I have drink, I've got diluting juice, I've got Diet Coke, I've got tea, I've got coffee, I've got bread, I've got fresh veggies, I've got canned meat. I have everything and more, so that I do not need to be spending money. So anything I think of, it's only going to be because I want it, not because I need it. And I remember saying that to Kathleen quite a lot when she was younger. You only want it, you don't need it, it's not happening. So that's what's going to happen to me this week. So stay tuned to see how I get on, and fingers crossed it'll all go according to plan. Catch you later. Oh, and sorry, happy Mother's Day to everyone in the States, because it's Mother's Day there. So I hope you all had a fabulous day and that you got what you wanted, which is probably some time to go bleh. I hope that all worked for everyone. Have a great day. Catch you later.